Hey folks, it's KT here. We're at Everyday KT number 97. And yes, I look like I've been through the grinder because I have. For any of you IT folks out there trying to get a host to connect through SMTP through a remote server to a different host altogether is fun. And annoying when you don't have full access to the Linux commands. So yay, great time. So give me a sec. So here we are. Hey Corey, good to see you. Angela, welcome to the shenanigans. So I'm still drinking coffee because I still have a bunch of code to figure out, because when websites don't send emails, that is bad. And until it works, I have to sit and grind it out, figure out what piece of punctuation is missing to make it happen. So today we're talking about perseverance, because that, especially for any of you IT folks, know that that is the only thing that keeps you going. So, hang on. And no, this is not Irish coffee or Mexican coffee or whatever else. It's straight up caffeine in a jar. So, perseverance. We've been talking a whole lot about success, failure, doing what you want to do, all of those things. But, well, in case you're wondering, I'm messing with DVI to HDMI adapters. Evening, Mark. Just because they're here. And when I'm talking, generally I'm fiddling with something because my brain wants to run a lot faster than my mouth can talk, and I need to distract it. So we're talking about perseverance. So why is perseverance so important? For those of you who have been in business of any kind for any length of time, you know all too well that if you don't stick to it, you will clearly and most definitely not get where you want to go. So, oh, and I forgot to bring up, yeah, we had a massive, enormous storm today, but I'm down by the water, so at about 1 o'clock, the 6 inches of snow that we had received in 2 hours started raining, and that's when the roof started leaking into the house and all kinds of other fun games. But that's beside the point. So there's no ice out there. But because of all that crap, jeans. Because I was outside more often than not today trying to remove ice dams on my roof and clear gutters, all kinds of crap like that. Perseverance. There you go right there. The really quick short version. You know, you stick with it and you will win. So as far as we're concerned, Corey, our Kilted Realtor friend, is a prime example of the beginning of the perseverance race. He started his weekly video blogs. They're getting better every week, and he will learn very, very quickly that if he perseveres and continues on this path that I've helped set him up with and give him some ideas, he will reap the rewards, because as he begins developing his brand, he begins creating his audience and engaging people who like his content, he will find that he will not only get better at it, he will be more engaging to his audience, and he will develop a larger community of folks who are not only interested in because he's got a kilt on or he's from Texas, and start to meld together. And once he finds his voice and he discovers how he can most effectively communicate what it is that he's trying to tell people, he'll see that this whole live video thing pays dividends, and it's a lot of them. So kudos to you. And Chris, you're another one. Perseverance. I remember your first couple of videos. It was like, hey, let's stick a camera on a stick. I'm on the snow. Let's check this out. See where you're going. And he's done a whole ton of these. I don't know, Chris, how many videos have you done lately? Last I checked, it was like 60 or 70. And they're good. He's getting more and more into them. And I haven't checked in the past little bit, but the last one I saw, it's getting very cool. Once you get comfortable with the medium, it as a person, you get more comfortable with it, and you realize that you can sit and talk very effectively, and realize that you have people talking to you. Yeah, today it's all my fault, as of course. Especially with the back and forth that you're able to have if you have a larger format device. I got a 9.7-inch tablet that I'm using today. I'm actually kind of liking it a lot better than my phone because I don't have to lean forward to see who's saying what as I'm talking. But I've only learned this through perseverance. Knocking on the door of 100 episodes, that's 99 or 90, 96 more than I thought I was going to do. I did the first one just on a whim to say, okay, how can I do this? Because I'm supposed to teach people how to use a video. And here we are, 3 or 4 months later. Hey, Dave, welcome to the Fun and Games. Here we are, almost 3 months later, and it's 9 o'clock at night where I'm at, and there are right now 8 people who are tuned in, wanting to hear what I have to say. So that's perseverance, because on day 1 I had almost nobody live. I think I had 1 or 2 because they were friends of mine and they were taking pity on me. I don't remember. I'll have to go check to see who actually tuned in live on episode 1. Maybe we'll do that on episode 100. See what's going on. So perseverance, and it's not just sticking to it from a business perspective. Think about it with your kilting, especially if you're new to kilts. The single most important thing is perseverance, because the first time you put on your kilt, it's going to be weird. It's going to be weird for you. It's going to be weird for your friends. It's going to be weird for everyone around you. That's on day 1. Day 2, for you, it won't be that weird. Day 5, you're getting kind of used to it. Your friends, on the other hand, not so much. Day 50, you could care less at this point. And your friends are like, okay, so this isn't just a phase, it's a legit thing. Hey Dave, I'll check it out. Like I said, I've been grinding away on a tech problem all day. Actually no, let me know the company right now. I'll tell you right now if I've heard of them. So, day 50, you're doing fine. Day 500, pretty much everybody knows who you are. And if you've done it right, and not wearing the kilt, but if you've attacked the concept of wearing a kilt and using it as your personal branding tool, you actually have developed a little gravitas, I guess, or a little something. And as far as using it as your personal brand to help identify you or in your particular field. Mine, marketing, advertising, and social media. Ultimately helping people develop their personal brand and get the world to see what it is that they do and how they do it. Using their own voice. I'm just helping them learn all the tools and giving advice on how to most effectively convey their ideas through social media and online and whichever way. Sport kilt, Dave, you can't go wrong. I've known the folks from Sport Kilt for as many years as I have been doing this. This should pretty much explain my thoughts on Sport Kilt. Okay, here's Kiltology Volume 1. I put their logo on the back of my first book. That pretty much sums it up. Sport kilts rock. Seamus and the boys down there are awesome. Whatever you get, you're gonna love it. So swing for the fences, my friend. The only thing I would keep in mind is be be aware of the weight of the kilt that you're buying. Just because you're getting a kilt from them, the kilt's going to be awesome, but if you're expecting a heavyweight kilt and you buy the thrifty kilt, it's going to be a little thinner than you're expecting. So just keep an eye on that. That's the only advice. Everything else, you're going to love it. I've bought all kinds of stuff from them. So there you go, right there, perseverance. That's that perseverance. You know, you're wanting to get on board, and you're exploring and trying to figure out what's going on out there. Oh, the bat phone's ringing. Let's see what it says. Anybody? Oh, my Twitter and Instagram are going nuts. That's fine. They can wait. So, perseverance. You know what? Like I said, once you hit day 500, you need to start thinking about how you can make, turn a clothing choice into a future for whatever it is that you do. Are you a carpenter? Sure. Tell me you can't find people interested in a guy in a kilt with a leather tool belt going up a ladder, and I'm going to tell you that you're a blind man and your eyes are closed. Theater. I have a good friend who I actually got to meet for the first time a few weeks ago. Keith Robinson. He did an amazing Shrek, and he would do a lot of his stage performances when it wasn't costume specific. He's done several in a kilt. Awesome. Chef, cook. I believe we have at least one or two who tune in here regularly who wear a kilt in the kitchen. Author. I've wrote a couple of books. There's a good many of them. I know my friend Carl, who watches regularly, is actually translating Kiltology Volume 1 into French. And once he gets that one done, I am going to publish it, provided I can find someone who knows French, who can read it for me and make sure that he didn't just write a whole book about how evil I am in French and then slap my picture on the front. Be funny, but you never know. We have, of course, we've got our friend Kilted Realtor, Corey, uses the kilt as a marketing tool, and people talk about it. So once you've been out there and you've gotten through perseverance to that point in your life where wearing the kilt everywhere is just part of the deal, that's when you shift your mind thought. Mind thought. That's a good one, mind thought. That means I've been staring at the computer for too long. Once you change, you shift your mindset from wearing the kilt because you can to wearing the kilt with a purpose. And it's no longer, I'm going to stand out and be different because screw you guys. It's, I'm going to stand out and be different because I want you to come to me and spend money with me because I can do whatever it is. I know how to make little pewter things with melted metal. Give me money. I'm the guy who can do whatever it is. There's a company that does window washing. Ernie, Jeff. Oh, that's Animal, not Ernie. And Kilted Drummers. I'll let Kilted Drummers do their own gig. And Jeff, I hope you weren't on duty today because this morning anyway, the roads were crap. This afternoon, not so bad. You have, I believe there's even a whole, on the 501st, there's a whole regiment of kilted stormtroopers. Very awesome. Not making money that way, but they do, they do all manner of great charity work for kids, going to kids' hospitals and whatnot. Awesome stuff. But again, it's brand recognition. It's getting through all of that crap that you get from people, and then the kilt becomes a part of your persona, if you will. And it's not that it's controlling you. What it is it's sitting there. It's like, okay, yep, Corey, perfect example. My name's Corey McDonald, and I can sell you a house. But I also wear a kilt. What does that mean? That means that people are going to recognize him versus the other 936 realtors that are at the Texas Real Estate Convention. Because he's the guy in the kilt. and people are going to want to talk to him. Do the same thing. It happens to me at every Chamber of Commerce event I go to. I got through all of that crap from people and got over it and don't care anymore what people think, because opinions, everybody's got them and they usually smell. So, perseverance, that's what it's all about. So if you're new to kilting, stick with it. Especially if you have ambitions of greatness and success in your own personal business, because once you get through all the beginning parts of wearing a kilt, and mind you, this is a gross generalization. There are some pockets and communities around the country, around the world, where nobody cares. It's totally normal already, so it's no big deal. But a vast majority of places, there's like one guy who wears a kilt regularly. Where I'm at, I'm it. I know where Corey is. I bet you there's a pretty significant kilted population down there, but most places, not so much. So stick with it, because once you get through that, Dave, do it. Wear the kilt. You know, I tell you what, wearing a kilt to a doctor's office is awesome, because the nurses always love it, and they always remember you every single time. They might not know your name, but they will always remember you. And every single time I go anywhere that is service related, I wear a kilt, because the service is usually better. I walked around the last time I wasn't wearing a kilt and jeans, and no joke, I saw 10 people that I knew personally. None of them recognized me. Not one. Now, I did have the big stocking cap on, big huge jacket. I probably looked like I weighed about 300 pounds. Huge boots, gloves, one step shy of Eskimo land. But it's fine. But still, nobody knew who I was. Not one said hi. Nobody had a clue. Oh yeah, Dave, donuts helps. Bringing food always helps. But would you rather be recognized as the donut guy, because that means you got to shell out $15-20 every time you show up, or you're the guy in the kilt and you just putting clothes on every day? You wear them to wherever you're going to go. It's pretty awesome, especially those places. I know every time I walk into anywhere that I go normally, everybody's eyes perk up a little bit, and especially the nurses. It's kind of cool. It's pretty awesome. So, perseverance. I know there's actually a couple of kiltologies about perseverance, but I didn't actually prep for this because, like I've said before, I sit down, and the whole point by this being live is interaction. But I figure it this way, if you're going to talk the talk, walk the walk. So there's no script in front of me. There's my books, but there's this stupid thing, and my phone, a ink cartridge, some old CDs. No script, no nothing. You either know it or you don't. And that whole fake it till you make it thing is complete BS. This because right here, there is no faking it. I'm either going to succeed or I'm going to fall on my face. And if I fall on my face, I expect to be called out for it. So somebody dropped me a kiltology. If you want to throw out a number, go for it. I'll read whatever it is. Doesn't matter. Book or even an entry number. Good call there, Chris. Yeah. Oh, actually, I'll talk about this tomorrow night. I'll talk about tomorrow night, 9 o'clock. I know we've talked about pleats and materials, but I didn't talk about what they do when you're walking. And I've realized that the material and the pleat style have a very significant impact on what those kilts look like while you're walking. And no, I'm not going to do a quick presto change. Well, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe. I've actually got a treadmill that I've got finally hooked up in the garage. And maybe I'll bring a bunch of kilts out there and do a live demo of what the kilts look like. New, pressed, pleats, different things, all kinds of stuff. Should be interesting. Yeah, I'm starting to think tomorrow night's going to be a fun night. I'll have to live stream from the garage if I can get it to work, provided the signal's strong enough. So we've got Kiltology Volume 2. Boom. Amazon, for those of you who... actually, it was pretty cool. I went on Amazon yesterday, and Volume 1 was ranked at 100,000 out of every single book on Amazon. I don't know who bought what. I probably only took a couple of people buying a copy all at the same time. But that was pretty awesome. It made my day. I know the best I've ever seen, I think, was 30-something thousand. It was within the first couple of days that it went live, and I took out an ad on Facebook or something and told everybody, like, oh, Kiltology, hey, come get it. And I think I sold like 24 copies that day. Not very much, but it made me feel good. So thanks for whoever bought a copy or two a couple days ago. So okay, eternity. That is what we're talking about today. Kiltology number 422. This hey Josh, they're on Amazon. Just look up Kiltology. You'll see my name under the title, and you'll know both of them are available. And they're only $9 or $9.99 a piece, so it's not like you're breaking the bank. So part of perseverance, and it again, flipped it open. There it is. The Kiltology applies. Part of the perseverance, and the most difficult thing with perseverance, is the waiting. It is putting in the time, putting in the effort, and not seeing the result you want. Knowing that that result will happen, but not seeing it yet. So that's the most difficult thing with perseverance. And Kiltology number 422 echoes that very, very well. It's called eternity. Eternity is unique in that, oh, typo, it has at least 3 very specific definitions to a kiltie. The first and most often used definition is, eternity is the time between when you pay for your kilt and when it is delivered to your hands, sewn as ordered. The popular term jonesing is in reference to that feeling a kiltie feels while waiting the eternity between ordering and receiving a kilt. The second, and more usable yet less heard, is, eternity is the time between when I push the brew button on the coffee pot and when it is ready to drink. And I deal with that all the time. It is far less heard because anyone using this definition is in the presence of a kiltie, or in the presence of a kiltie is either extremely brave or married to the kiltie, in which case you probably forced him out of bed to make you coffee anyway. The third, and this one enrages a great many kiltie, is the time when he gently reminds a group of teenagers that his skirt is a kilt, and the time that they finally bugger off to go make someone else's life miserable. Bingo, right there, Chris. Leather kilts take forever because it takes forever to make them right. Because you got the first time, otherwise you got to scrap the kilt and move on. So eternity, 3 definitions. And I have endured all of these. So how does that have to do with perseverance? Eternity is that time between when you put on your first kilt and you say, what the hell am I doing? And the time where you say, holy shit, this is awesome. That is eternity. And for some people, that time is a very long time. For me, that was about 5 seconds. But hey, you know, I'm just me. I'm not like everyone else, and everyone else isn't like me, because if we all were the same, this would be no fun. So, again, tomorrow night, we're going to talk about pleats and the swish and how kilt material and kilt maintenance, both, and pleat style, all very, very significantly impact how the pleats look when you're walking away from whatever it is you're walking away from. All of you who have worn the kilt repeatedly know all too well that the funniest place you can be is about 15 steps behind some guy walking in a kilt, because that you just get to observe everyone else watching, staring, taking pictures, and passing all manner of comments. Usually good, some funny. Rarely are they mean. Any of the mean ones are usually in jest anyway. But like I said, 15 steps behind somebody walking in a kilt, especially in a mall or something really populated, it's all manner of fun. So until tomorrow, you guys have fun out there. I'm glad that the storm wasn't anywhere near as bad as I thought it was. And don't forget, be strong. Put a kilt on. Talk to you tomorrow night.